Hey guys, I want to talk about something that I've been researching for a while now, and it's going to sound a bit controversial because Germany has this reputation, it's a real one, that we have some of the strongest employee protection laws in Europe and worldwide. And it's actually one of the reasons people move to Germany. If you're coming from a country where you can be put on the street the same day, Germany sounds like a dream. And it mostly is when it comes to employee protection, except during mass layoffs, where there is a loophole so widely used, it's basically become standard practice. And I'm not speculating, I've been documenting layoff stories, interviewing people, and what I found really surprised me. I was laid off myself last year from a tech company in Berlin, and I did the entire process. And then I also started creating content helping people. And this is how I've gotten into researching it and collecting stories of people who have been laid off in Germany. Now, hear me out. 90% of the layoff cases I documented were not actual, just masked as mutual agreements. And let me explain what that means, because there is a lot of people, especially immigrants, who get into serious trouble when they don't know it. In Germany, mutual agreement and a termination, they are two very different things. A termination notice, a Kündigung, that's a proper termination notice. A company fires you. You have notice periods, you have Kündigungsschutz, you have rates. And then there is an Aufhebungsvertrag, a mutual termination agreement. And on paper, you both agreed to end the employment. And in practice, you were called into a meeting, got handed a document, and told to sign it. And here's the problem. A lot of people I spoke to didn't even know these were two different things with very different consequences. So because when you sign a mutual agreement under pressure without fully understanding what it is, you can lose your unemployment benefits for 3 months. It can cost you thousands of euros. For people on a visa, it gets worse because on paper, you basically quit. And when you go to the Ausländerbehörde, it can create complications with your right to stay in the country because your purpose of being here was employment and you voluntarily ended it. Usually it's all okay, but I'm just telling you that there is a loophole in this entire employee protection system in Germany. So within that 90% of cases, there are two scenarios I keep on seeing that companies are executing to strip off the employees from their rights. The first one, and this is a more aggressive one, the company treats the employee as already gone before anything is signed at all. They report them as unemployed to the unemployment agency. They send them over the mutual agreement that is actually not even active and not legally binding unless it's being signed. But the company doesn't care. And a lot of the people I spoke to who were informed about their rights, they got very pissed off about this, and many of them sued because this is where the Kündigungsschutzklage comes in. And the second scenario is what companies call voluntary leaver programs. What does it mean? Basically, the company wants as many people gone as possible without having to actually terminate contracts. Because actual terminations, this is where you keep your dismissal protection. If a company does this, they make themselves vulnerable, so they make it sound very attractive. They offer you signing bonuses so that you sign away your rates. Sounds generous, like a 15K signing bonus, except this is the part that stinks. Those offers tend to go specifically to the people, to the company that already wants out. It's not random. They target you, but instead of firing you and keeping you with all the rights that you have, they prefer to sell you a better option where they give you a little bit more of money. And 15K after taxes, not that much. Considering possible block of your unemployment benefits and a beef that you might have with immigration office, that's not worth it. You just basically decided to sign off all your rights that you have. And then there is the remaining 10%, the companies that actually issued proper terminations, real terminations, Kündigungen. And it has given clear steps for the employees and You know what happened with those companies in my research? No one sued. No one. People were like, fair enough. Sure. Termination. What can I do? I have the rights. I choose not to sue. So the biggest beef comes when the company is fucking with you and trying to trick you into signing an agreement when actually they're firing you. And the employees felt very tricked. So they sued because what is this fuckery after all? But if you treat employees with dignity and you don't strip off their rights, they don't sue. So if you're a company and you want to do it right, please don't try and sell people some great deals without explaining them what the implications are. So, to be very fair, there are mutual agreements that really work in your favor. Okay, they exist. But sometimes the severance is good, the timing works, and you actually don't want to work there. And the company isn't being very predatory about this, they're not pressuring you. That's great. It's like a golden ticket out of the company you don't want to work for anyway. But it's rather the exception because in this volatile market, people fight to keep their jobs. So that's rather the exception. And you need to know exactly what's going on before you go in into this meeting with HR, before you're sitting there and you might feel pressured and sign off a lot of your rights because the dismissal protection is there. The problem is companies do everything for you as an employee not to be able to use it because you sign off your rights. You sign them all away. And if you're an immigrant in Germany or you feel that the layoff might be coming, please, before you sign anything, talk to someone who knows what they're looking at. You can talk to me. If you have works counsel, even better. You can talk to a lawyer. Do your math and understand that if you sign away your rights and you don't have this dismissal protection because this is how companies do it and there is actually none, then make sure you're signing a good deal. I'm going to drop a link below to a guide and calculator that I've created. I hope it's going to be helpful and I really hope that it will get better. I am going to create something like a guide to the companies saying, if you don't want to be a dick during layoffs, here's what you should know. Otherwise, good luck, guys. And if you really feel stressed, reach out. I wish you all the best and good luck.